Hi, Dyslexic Dad here. If you enjoy these videos, please subscribe. It does help me out a lot. I'm going to do a video, kind of an 8-month update, but specifically to start off with narcissism and the law. Now, I know that I've mentioned and in some detail the situation that happened with my ex-girlfriend, the covert narcissist, and to the extent that she basically flaunted ignoring the law. And I know, as usual, YouTube, there were like comments saying like, oh, well, I don't believe that, and you can't do that, and call a SWAT team or call the National Guard. Just weird crap. And the getting to the point is that some narcissists have such a sense of entitlement, or what I would describe as, with my ex-girlfriend, the covert narcissist, is that she has such a strong delusion. She's just fabricated this reality. And it's kind of amazing because it's not just her, this fabrication of herself. It is a fabrication of the world around her. To me, it's kind of amazing. And so, previously, some months ago, there were situations where, she just basically ignored the law. And, I because of the way the courts are with the different municipalities, counties, state, levels, the different police districts, versus like the DA's office separated from the police. I won't go into it, but anyways, it is so difficult to get anything done because there's everything is so siloed. But anyways, got things done, and I saw justice. At that time, I had a case. It was going through the hearings, and on the last hearing before it was to go to trial, I was shocked where my ex-girlfriend actually pled guilty to all charges. I was floored. That was very much out of character, and in retrospection, I came to the only conclusion I can come to is that she understood and got word that the DA was going to introduce additional evidence and some additional arguments at the time of trial, and that she was looking to 1 or 2 years in state prison. And the only reason that she pled guilty was because she knew she was going to lose and probably going to spend 2 years in state pen. And so she pled guilty. It was certainly not because she had any remorse, any regret. And even though at the time in front of the judge, she said that she took accountability for her actions, there was a subtle direction, I guess, that she approached that statement from. And that was that she felt justified. Yeah, she felt justified in what she did. And so she said, yeah, I did that, but I did it because I'm justified. So again, bit off I'm going off on a tangent here. So getting back to now. So as part of the, the penalty for the charges, she was required to do a couple of things. And one of them was to have a mental health evaluation, and then therapy based upon the evaluation as to what they would thought would help her the most, and then domestic violence courses. And after, I'm trying not to make this longer than it needs to be. Okay, I was contacted by the victim advocate from the DA's office. Said, here, get in contact with this person. They will keep you in the loop as to her therapy and the courses. And, if you have any questions, you can ask them. And, there can be two-way communication, not between me and my ex-girlfriend, but between me and the person in charge of the courses, blah, blah. And of course I gotta go back and I can talk to the victim advocate for the DA's office. But anyway, so, I'm doing that, and they, long story short, they let me know she didn't sign up for the courses. And it's like, wait a minute. That's a big no-no. I mean, that's literally like the number one condition for, the sentencing that she agreed to. And so if she doesn't uphold her end of that, the deal goes out the window and the hammer comes down. And so again, it's one of those things where, normal people would probably be scared to death. They're like, I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to spend time in prison. I don't want this on my record. I don't want this haunting me for like the rest of my life. It's like every time they do a background check on a job and they're like, oh, okay, we see what you did in the past. Next. I mean, it's very, very serious. So anyone else would be taking this deathly serious. And I can only assume that she's just fabricated this reality for herself where she doesn't have to do that because, I don't know, like it's like in her mind, she's a good person. In her mind, she did what she did because it was justified. And so there's no need for her to take courses or, have like any type of, mental health therapy with regards to this issue and, where it might have come from psychologically and stuff. And so she just just ignored it. And so it's, needless to say, on one hand, it's very shocking. And on the other hand, I shouldn't be shocked because narcissists are just so weird. They just, and the thing is, like, it's not like, it's not just like they're weird about who they are, but they're weird about what they think the world is around them. And so in her mind, the sentencing from the judge for the state or the city is optional. Like it's I don't need to do that because I'm a good person. And I mean, it's just kind of amazing. I mean, and again, like I know that I ran into this issue with my ex-wife, the malignant narcissist, through the divorce process, where I don't know, half a dozen times, a dozen times on, different situations, she would just, ignore the requirement for what, the law had set out for what she was required to do, what was like expected, from like our lawyers talking to each other. And again, it's like one of those things where, because she was a malignant narcissist, her perspective was a little bit different. It was, how much can I get away with? Basically, and she was just like, and for me, I'd be sweating bullets. I mean, I don't want to gamble with the law, but she was rolling the dice all the time. She was like, okay, I know this is illegal, but I'm going to do it anyways. And like, oh, I'm required to be there, as part of this agreement. And I told my lawyer that. I told his lawyer that. Nope, I'm going to go party. I mean, just all this stuff. And, it was one of those things where it's like, if I had infinite money and I could just, an infinite time really, to just like throw money at lawyers and have lawyers throw themselves at her for doing this, yeah, I could have gotten somewhere. But like many people during divorce, I was, it was nickels or scraping pennies, just being like, okay, do I have enough money for food this week? Do I have enough money for gas to get to work? And it was like that throughout the separation. I mean, it was rough. I did not have extra money to, honestly, I ended up having to fire my lawyer halfway through my divorce because they were too expensive. It was just a black hole. And, but anyways, my point was that, both the narcissists that I've encountered in my life, the law was not a requirement. It was an option. I mean, they viewed it, laws and stuff. Those were things that other people had to obey. But for them, it just kind of depended on their mood, depended on the circumstances, the situations. Sometimes they're like, oh yeah, I'll go ahead and obey this law. And other times they're like, no, I'm a good person. Or, I've got something better to do. I've got a date, so I'm just going to go do that. And so, I just thought I'd share this because, the funny thing is that I keep waiting for the last time I have something to say about something that happened with my ex-girlfriend, the covert narcissist. It's now been 8 months and still this weird stuff keeps happening. So I'm hoping one day, but honestly, from what the, DA's office and her probation officer has told me, I think I'm looking at May of 2024. So we'll see. So hopefully this video has been helpful, and if not helpful, at least entertaining. Thanks.